There's a habit a lot of us don't even realize we've built. It's when someone asks us something, whether it's a favor, a plan, or a commitment, and before we've even checked in with ourselves, we're already saying yes. Not because we truly want to, maybe we do, maybe we don't, but because it's faster, easier, and expected of us. And over time, those tiny moments start to add up until you start to feel a little distant from yourself in your own life. Let's talk about that moment, the one right before the yes, and why it matters more than you think. Come on in, it's time to choose your happy life. Wherever you are, whatever kind of day you're having, this is your reminder. You have a choice. If you're ready to break free from self-doubt and negative thinking, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Marie, and this is the Choose Happy with Marie podcast. Welcome. Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. There's a moment that happens in everyday life that most people don't really notice. It's not a big decision. It doesn't feel like something important at the time. And it's rarely something you would look back on and say, that changed everything. It's actually much quieter than that. It can happen when someone sends you a text asking for something, or a friend suggests plans when you're already a little tired, or a colleague asks for help and you already have too much on your plate. And before you've really checked in with yourself, you hear yourself saying yes. And it happens so quickly that you don't even realize there was another step available. You didn't realize it because you're living on autopilot. And that step is a pause, a check-in, a moment where you might have asked yourself how you actually feel. When is the last time you asked yourself how you really feel before answering? Answering the automatic yes just to keep the peace, that's not always best. Actually, it often isn't in the long run. And I think you already know that from previous experiences. Yet you continue doing that because it's what you know. It's how you've lived life. You've just kept it going. The yes actually isn't the most important part of this pattern. It's what happens right before it. Or more honestly, what doesn't happen. That tiny moment where you might have checked in with yourself, even just for a second, and if you asked yourself the following, do I want this? Do I have the capacity for this? Or is this a line for me right now? That moment is often skipped so quickly that we stop noticing it exists at all. And when that happens enough times, something subtle begins to form. You stop including yourself in the decision. Not in a dramatic way, just in a quiet, automatic way that becomes normal over time. You might notice it in really ordinary parts of your day. For example, like when your workday is already full, you have deadlines, the messages have to be responded to, the mental load, and someone asks you to take something on. And instead of checking in with your capacity, you adjust. You say yes, and then figure it out later. Or when you finally get to the end of the day and you're tired, not dramatically exhausted, although some days that can feel that way. Just that kind of, I need a quiet evening tired. You know what that feels like? And someone suggests plans or asks you to join something. And before you've really felt into your own need for rest, you're already saying, yeah, I can make it work. Sound familiar? Or when a friend asks for help with something small, something you technically could do, and you don't pause long enough to notice that you're already stretched. So you say yes, not because it feels deeply right, but because it feels easier than stopping. And none of these moments feel like a big deal on their own. That's what makes this so easy to miss. In fact, in the moment, it can even feel like you're doing something good. You know, you're being helpful, you're being reliable, you're being someone others can count on. And for a long time, that can feel like something to be proud of. But slowly, something starts to build underneath it. A kind of tiredness that doesn't fully go away with rest. It's a sense that your days are full, but not always full of things that you consciously choose. A feeling of being slightly disconnected from yourself inside your own life. And it's hard to trace back to one decision. Why? Because it wasn't one decision. It was many small ones where you didn't include yourself in the moment of choice. If we slow it right down, you can almost see how it happens in real time. Someone asks you for something, and there's usually a flicker, a very small internal moment. A bit of hesitation, a sense of, I'm not sure. It's a feeling in your body that it might register as like tightness or fatigue or simply a pause, or maybe it's your gut kind of speaking up. It's subtle, but it's there. And then almost immediately, your mind steps in and you start thinking, oh, it's fine. It's not a big deal. I should really just do it. They're counting on me. It'll be easier this way if I just say yes. Does any of this sound familiar? And before you fully arrived in your own experience of the moment, the yes is already out. Clean, automatic, familiar, and the moment passes. And this is where I think it's easy to misunderstand what's happening. Because on the outside, this can look like you're being flexible, right? Or you're being kind. You're being someone who's easy to work with, easy to love, easy to rely on. But beneath it, something more subtle is forming. It's a pattern of being slightly absent from your own decisions. Again, it's not in a dramatic way, but it's in a repeated, quiet way where your life starts to be shaped more by what is asked of you than by what you actually feel in the moment. And I want to be really clear here. This isn't about becoming someone who says no all the time, although it's sometimes good to say no. It's not about withdrawing from people or overthinking every request. It's about something much smaller, but really, really important, and what this show and this brand of Choosing Happy is all about. It's about not skipping yourself. Self-trust, listening to your gut, isn't built in big dramatic changes. It's built in the pause, even a small one. It's when you listen to your gut, you listen to your heart, where you let yourself be part of your own decision before you respond. And sometimes the answer will still be yes, but it will be a yes that includes you and what you want for living your life, not a yes that bypasses you and then you regret saying yes 5 minutes later. And that difference changes how you feel inside your own life over time. So if you notice this pattern in yourself, there's nothing to fix all at once. We're not here to fix things, right? We're here to connect back to ourselves so that we can start choosing happy for our life. You don't need to change your entire personality or the way you show up in the world. You just start here, with the moment between the question and your answer. So this week, I invite you to try something simple. Before you say yes, even just for a second, pause and check in with yourself. It doesn't need to be a long process, doesn't require deep analysis. It's just a quiet moment to ask yourself, do I actually want this? Do I actually have the capacity for this? Listen to your gut, to your heart, to your inner guidance. That's it. Sometimes the answer will still be yes. It can also be no. You will feel the difference because when you do say yes, it's going to be a yes that includes you, not a yes that bypasses you. We're done with that. I know I'm really done with that. And it takes time. It's a new habit, right? We've been into this habit of saying yes because we want to be there for everyone in our life. But sometimes when we say yes to someone else, we're saying no to ourselves. And that's not what living a happy life is about. So we're building something different here. We're building our happy life. A life where you are no longer absent from your own decisions. Because every time you include yourself in the moment, you're strengthening something really simple. Your ability to stay with yourself. Your ability to trust yourself. Your ability to choose from a place that feels like you. Your happy life. And that's how change actually happens. It's not all at once, but it's in those small everyday moments where you begin to come back to yourself. And when you come back to yourself, you choose differently. Your choices start becoming more aligned with what you want for your life, your happy life. If this episode resonated with you, I want to invite you to join my email list if you're not yet a member. That's where I share deeper reflections on trusting yourself, stopping the people-pleasing and the guilt, and what it actually looks like to come back to yourself in everyday life, to live your happy life in a way that feels grounded and not overwhelming. You can join through the link in the show notes. Remember, every time you choose differently, you're choosing your happy life, and you are worthy of living that life that you desire for yourself and your family. It's being built with every choice you make today, tomorrow, and every day. Wishing you a wonderful week, choosing happy. Cheers! Thanks for listening to Choose Happy with Marie. If today's episode spoke to you, I would love it if you could share it with a friend or leave a quick review for the show. It helps more women find this kind of support. Remember, you don't have to overhaul your life to start feeling better. You just have to choose happy right where you are, one choose happy choice at a time. I'll see you next time. Take care.